In the last part of the story you saw how Yui meets other 6 brothers in school and how Subaru and Ko drink her blood. If you haven't seen the first part, the link is given in the description. Now let's continue our story. Yuma asks Yui about Shu. Yui tells him that Shu is always listening to songs and is always asleep. Yuma thinks about something and leaves from there. Elsewhere, all the 3 brothers are talking about Yui's awakening. Despite all of them sucking Yui's blood, they do not see any sign of awakening in Yui. Ruki recalls an incident from his childhood when the 4 brothers were running away from some people but they were caught by them. They punish them for running away. After this we see a vampire extending a helping hand towards Ruki, which Ruki holds with great hope. Ruki then says that if everything continues like this, they will not be able to fulfill their promise to that vampire. Later, while climbing the stairs of the school, Yui starts to stumble and fall when Yuma manages to catch her and take her somewhere. But Shu is sitting in front blocking the way. Yuma kicks the wall to get him out of the way. This wakes up Shu but he refuses to get out of the way. To make Shu angry, Yuma starts sucking Yui's blood in front of him, but instead of fighting, Shu stands up and leaves. Then Shu remembers an incident from his childhood, when he got lost in the forest and found a boy who looked like Yuma, who gave him an apple to eat. Shu realizes that Yuma is that boy who helped him. When Yui comes back home, she finds Ruki standing there. Ruki is about to suck her blood but stops after thinking something. Ruki leaves Yui and comes to his room and he wonders if he will ever be able to become Adam. The next day, Azusa tells his brothers that Ruki is refusing to come for dinner. They think that Ruki is upset about something. When Yui is getting ready to go to school, Ruki comes there and grabs her hand. He takes her to his room and starts sucking her blood. Yui becomes weak and falls on the floor. Ruki comes out of the room and sees the other 3 brothers. Ruki says that they will keep Yui locked in that room and suck her blood like she is a livestock. After a week has passed, all 3 brothers ask Ruki to free Yui from that room. Ruki reminds the 3 brothers of the promise they made to that vampire in which one of them has to become Adam. Ruki leaves from there and the 3 brothers do not understand his behavior. Then Ruki sees outside the house. He sees Ayato outside, who is angry. Ayato comes to Yui's room to pick her up and he takes her away. The 3 brothers ask Ruki the reason for not stopping Ayato, but Ruki is unable to answer them. Ayato brings Yui to a forest and sees bite marks on her neck but still starts sucking her blood. Yui again sees the same dream but this time all the leaves have fallen from the tree. When she opens her eyes, Lito is present in front of her. Lito comes close to Yui and bites her leg. He starts sucking her blood. He enjoys seeing the pain on Yui's face. Lito starts sucking her blood again but Reiji comes and stops him. Reiji orders Yui to meet him outside. Reiji asks Yui about the 4 vampire brothers. Yui tells him that they were calling her Eve. Reiji understands everything on hearing this. He asks Yui for more information. Yui reminisces that the brothers wanted her blood for someone else. Hearing this, Reiji asks Shu about his father's intentions but Shu has no idea about it. Kanato comes there and vents his anger on Yui. Subaru also comes there and vents his anger on Yui by punching the wall. When all the brothers arrive, Reiji warns them that on the coming full moon night, the powers of all the vampire brothers will become very weak and there is a possibility of something bad happening to them. Then at night Yui comes to meet Reiji in his room. Yui asks Reiji about the intentions of those 4 vampire brothers but Reiji doesn't think it necessary to tell her anything. Reiji drops Yui on the table and starts sucking blood from her hands. Elsewhere, all the 3 brothers are upset with Yui's departure and they do not understand why Ruki allowed Ayato to take Yui away. Suddenly some angry wolves come inside through the window and surround the 3 brothers from all sides. Wolves attack the brothers. Yui has the same dream again. She tries to touch the tree, but the tree vanishes in front of her. Kanato then comes to Yui's room to meet her. He comes close to Yui and calls her his toy. Then he starts sucking Yui's blood. Just then Azusa comes there in a bad condition to seek help from Yui, but Kanato grabs Yui's hand and stops her from going to Azusa. Kanato starts strangling Yui. To stop Kanato, Azusa throws his teddy bear in the fire. Kanato leaves Yui and starts crying near the teddy bear. Azusa takes Yui's hand and takes her from there. Yui comes to the mention of the four brothers and sees Ruki lying injured on the bed. Azusa tells Yui that some wolves had surrounded them and were attacking them. Ruki came in between to save Azusa from the wolf, so he got injured. The reason for the wolf attack on those brothers is not yet known. Azusa then tells Yui that Ruki was very upset these days because of the Apple of Adam plan. In this plan, one of them would have awakened as Adam. For this they needed Yui's blood. But when the awakening did not happen despite sucking Yui's blood, Ruki was very upset. When Ruki regains consciousness at night, Yui asks him why he wants to be Adam. But Ruki doesn't want to talk about it because none of them could become Adam. He tells her they need to complete this plan for that man at any cost. But Ruki had realized after drinking Yui's blood for a long time that non-pure blood vampires can never become Adam. And he wanted to hide this from his brothers. Yui makes him understand that he doesn't need to hide anything from his brothers as they care for him too. Then Ruki comes close to Yui and starts sucking her blood. Elsewhere, wolves calling themselves the Founders reveal that during the lunar eclipse, their powers will be greatly enhanced and the vampires will be powerless. They want to take revenge on the vampires, but before that they want to get Yui's blood. On the day of the lunar eclipse, the wolves attack the Six Brothers' mansion, but the lunar eclipse has not yet taken place, so they manage to make those wolves run away. Reiji thinks that the wolves were sent by the Founders. Lito believes the wolves didn't come here to attack them but to find Yui. Ayato starts going outside to find Yui despite Shu's warning, and he ends up in Ruki's room looking for Yui. Ayato tells Ruki that the Founders are sending wolves to attack them and they are looking for Yui for her blood. Yui doesn't want to endanger their lives because of her, but the vampires refuse to leave her alone. The vampires become very weak during the lunar eclipse, so Ruki asks Ayato to fight together to save Yui. Ayato reluctantly agrees, but does not want to share Yui with them. Ayato starts sucking Yui's blood in front of Ruki. Ruki also joins him and both start sucking Yui's blood. Later, Ruki tells Yui that for him to become Adam, Yui needs to feel free. Following the lunar eclipse, the Founder brothers prepare to attack the Vampire brothers. And with this season 2 comes to an end, and season 3 is not out yet, but as soon as it is released, you will get to know about the further story as well. How did you like this story so far? Do tell us by commenting, and don't forget to like the video. I will meet you in the next one. Thank you for watching the video.